300 drones plus fireworks telling a story in the sky. How does this happen?
The team is on the road.
It starts with a whiz who's spent a lifetime building things.
I don't care if we're pouring concrete or if we're flying a drone show. We're going to go have fun every day. Otherwise, why be here?
First thing you need to know about Don Wisniewski is he's Wiz. Fine with me, it's easier to say. He's had a construction company for 3 decades, added curb grinding, insulation, cemetery maintenance, rental houses.
Unbeknownst to me, people call me a big entrepreneur here in Norfolk, and I never thought of it that way because I was just doing what came naturally and doing something more and doing something different.
He's also been in charge of Norfolk's big 4th of July fireworks show for almost as long. A good fit for a guy who grew up in a farm family that threw big parties and shot off a lot of fireworks on the 4th.
Everybody needs a hobby. I don't hunt, I don't fish, I just blow stuff up, right?
One day, the entrepreneur with a passion for creating entertainment in the sky was approached about pivoting to something kind of new.
So it's like, let's think about getting rid of some of the other stuff and go stay with the fireworks and stay with the drones and make a real good medium out of this for aerial entertainment. It just goes hand in hand. And it really took off.
Fantasy Drone Shows has been all over the country, sometimes 2 different places on the same night, sometimes with fireworks. Maybe none so far bigger than this. Greatest moment so far?
Greatest moment? University of Nebraska when we did the volleyball game. What it took to get our foot in the door, we actually had to kind of go the back way around it and get to John Cook, to be honest with you. We got a rendering in front of him, and my understanding was his exact words, "That is sick, make it happen."
It was quite nerve-wracking. You want to make an impression. You've got one shot to do that. And if it doesn't go well, then things aren't going to go well for you. But if it does, then your phone's going to start ringing the next day. So we made it all happen, and everything went well, and the phone's ringing.
Don Wisniewski here. How are you this fine day?
So, how do you make a drone show? It starts with Wiz talking to the customer.
Now, typically, Labor Day is a holiday, and that normally goes up to that $350 a drone.
Then the rest of the team gets involved, including business manager Jolene, Wiz's wife. And guys whose previous jobs had nothing to do with drones. The connection? They all helped Wiz with fireworks.
This goes back to when I was talking about Wiz being detail-oriented. That fantasy sticker's crooked, so I gotta fix that.
That's a fancy way of saying OCD.
Nobody's going to notice it if it's straight, but they will if it's not.
Yep.
It's an image we're after here.
Now they're going to show us how they do what they do, creating a special show just for us. It starts with Brian looking at location and airspace. Our show is easy. It's happening on the acreage that includes the company's building and family home, where they've flown shows before. But using the State Fair show as an example, Brian works with Google Earth on one monitor, a VFR aeronautical map for pilots on another.
We need to think about where people are going to be and where moving traffic is. We can't fly over people, we can't fly over moving traffic.
Proximity to airports matters. Inside the blue dots means inside restricted airspace.
Most of Grand Island is inside of that Class D airspace, so I know I'm going to need to have airspace authorization for that.
Brian also keeps audience experience in mind. About how far generally is sort of the sweet spot?
2 city blocks away is ideal. You really get a good view of the show.
Now Scott and his design studio software take over.
There's all my coordinates up here, so I can change the radius of it. I can make it bigger, smaller. I can change how many times it turns. You know, like right now it's on 2. I can put 3 in there, so it gives it more turns.
Sometimes adapting things already built, like an American flag. Sometimes starting from scratch, with a little surprise for our show. Most shows take a week or so to build and can last up to 15 minutes. Scott uses unlimited colors and smooths transitions between images. The program keeps a safety bubble between drones and provides an accurate look at the show and location where they're flying.
We can kind of tell a story with drones, you know, so it's tying all those images together to make it flow and make it, you know, kind of tell what we want to tell.
And our show's going to have 4 different elements in
Correct.
the story,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Everyone helps with things like packing and prepping the drones.
How much of your life do you think is spent taking batteries in and out of drones?
A third. That's the biggest thing with drones is battery management, because nothing works without power.
As another part of the business, Ben uses drones to record video of things like acreages and houses for sale.
That was really freaking close.
Yeah, we're good.
And video of their shows.
It goes back to being able to market this better in that social media, and utilizing a drone to capture drone light shows is just second nature.
What are you doing here?
Right now we're setting up the ground station. This will be what communicates with the drones, gets the GPS signal from the satellites, sends all that info.
These are the antennas that we use and the interface boxes. So the signal goes from the computer into the interface box, into the antenna, sends the information out to the drones.
Time to lay out 200 drones on a grid.
16 meters right to here, and there's our 4 corners. We put them about an inch away from our tape measure that we're out there, dead center on a black mark.
Okay.
I'll show you the first one, and then after that, you're on your own.
Okay.
We pay weekly, very weekly.
Very weakly, but I'm pumped. Making a drone show. Don't step on a drone.
How's your back?
This is hard. Drones are hard.
Grid's laid out.
Yeah. Time sync. Heading check.
Red is noting that it's not facing true north.
How many times have you stepped on a drone doing this?
None. I have yet to step on a drone, and I have size 15 feet.
I don't believe you.
I have yet to step on a drone.
All right, 200 to 200 ready. Everybody good to go?
It hasn't been long since Wiz even saw his first drone show. From idea to investing in expensive drones and software to adding staff, equipment, and more drones, Fantasy Drone Shows has grown quickly.
Really has taken off almost exactly how I was thinking on day one. If we did this, this, and this, this, and this, and this is going to happen. And how are we going to scale it? When are we going to scale it accordingly?
Be careful being over the top of those tubes.
So what's easier, drones or fireworks? Drones.
Less physical work.
That's a family fun game, the ring bottle game.
3, 2, 1, go for music.
You gotta wonder what they're thinking right now.
A cow! A cow!
Talk a little bit about Wiz. Is Wiz kind of a force of nature?
Wiz is a cool cat.
Keep our heads up, they are over our heads.
I don't know when the guy sleeps. He works all the time. He's thinking all the time about how to make things bigger, better, more efficient, easier on the body so that we have energy to do more. So he's Wiz.
I'm into the finale.
Yeah.
Awesome. 100% both ways.
It was awesome. That was probably one of the coolest fireworks shows, drone shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I've never seen anything like that in person before.
Our client, that was phenomenal. I'm already getting tons of messages from people. Thank you.
Awesome.
That's what we like to hear.
You've been doing this for 3 years, and yet you're still giddy about a show.
I know. Every show. I still have a gut ache before every show, too. Nerves, of course. Everyone's a high profile show, and you want it to go perfect. Tonight went perfect. Couldn't ask for a better night.
What hooked you?
I think just the fun and the excitement. I really like working with drones and new types of technology, but there's also that level of creating something for an audience that really awes them.
There's nothing about this that isn't fun, you know? That's what this is all about, is entertainment. It's wowing people. It's great to hear the oohs and the ahs and the applause at the end.
You know, they say that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I love doing this.
What's in the future? Maybe shows at national monuments for America 250 celebrations, or shows at the U.S. Capitol or Super Bowl. Wiz dreams big.
I couldn't be having more fun doing this. This is just great.